When two of Broadway's biggest talents share a stage, sparks are bound to fly. But for Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster, the connection didn't end with the final bow. Here's a closer look at how their relationship evolved from center stage to a shared life offstage. Broadway co-stars to real-life partners, Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster's story is as layered as any stage script, marked by personal transformations, public revelations, and an ongoing spotlight that shows no signs of dimming.
When Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster took the stage, sparks flew louder than the orchestra. Two divorces, flirty performances, and backstage whispers turned The Music Man into a scandalous duet. Was it art or an affair with choreography? Broadway's not just watching, they're gossiping with binoculars and front row popcorn. If you're loving the tea, don't forget to like, drop a comment, and hit that subscribe button like it owes you money. Deborah Lee Furness may have been cast as the supportive wife for years, but let's be clear. When the curtains closed on her marriage, she didn't crumble.
So now Sutton Foster just filed for divorce this week on Tuesday. It's uncontested, so I think that will go through pretty quickly. And Hugh Jackman, her co-star from The Music Man, which was from, I think, 2021 to January 2023. They starred in this hit Broadway show together. And he got divorced from his longtime wife of 27 years, Deborah Lee Furness, in September of 2023.
She ascended. And she didn't leave quietly either. She exited like a queen in a velvet robe, chin up, strut flawless, heels echoing with justice. Sources say the real heartbreak wasn't Hugh, it was Sutton, a woman Deb once called a Broadway sister. They shared dinners, dressing rooms, and mutual admiration posts. Now, just deleted history and a betrayal so deep it deserved a score by Andrew Lloyd Webber. It's not the breakup, it's the betrayal, Deb allegedly confided to a close friend. And if betrayal were a Tony category, baby, this would sweep. While Sutton smiled through curtain calls, Deb cried behind them. While one posed for Vogue in soft lighting, the other lit candles and called her lawyers. The theater community, usually tight-lipped and talent-focused, went silent, but not oblivious. Everyone saw it. The whispers grew louder than standing ovations. And Hugh? Once Hollywood's nicest guy trademark, now found himself center stage in a scandal hotter than a fog-filled number from Chicago. Deb didn't drag anyone publicly, but she didn't need to. Her silence was scathing. Her style, immaculate. Her energy, Renaissance queen with receipts. Sutton might have thought she'd won the lead, but Deb's owning the whole damn theater. Once a place filled with behind-the-scenes dressing room selfies, tap dance tributes, and grateful hashtags, Sutton Foster's Instagram timeline has now entered its villain era after the Hugh-Deb divorce bombshell detonated and fans connected the not-so-difficult dots. Her comments section erupted into chaos. Think, Broadway meets Burn Book Homewrecker wasn't just trending. It was basically her new stage name. Overnight, her socials turned from curated joy to full-blown crisis control. Comments? Disabled faster than a matinee audience can rise for a standing ovation. Captions? Suddenly edited into vague, neutral fluff. And those cozy photos with Hugh from last fall's backstage party? Gone like a limited-run revival. The cleanup was swift, but not subtle. Fans noticed. Critics noticed. Patti LuPone definitely noticed. What was once the feat of America's favorite triple threat is now a ghost town with filtered smiles and no audience clapping back. The damage control is so obvious, you'd think she hired Olivia Pope on retainer. Sutton's gone from sparkly Broadway sweetheart to internet antagonist, and in true theater fashion. The fall from grace happened in one act, with no intermission. Stop the presses, or at least the playbills. When it was announced that Hugh Jackman would not be hosting the 2025 Tony Awards, jaws hit the floor harder than a missed pirouette. Hugh is the Tonys, a human tuxedo. The only man who could make jazz hands look presidential. So his scheduling conflict excuse? Please, this isn't a rehearsal clash, it's a PR fire drill. Sources say the real reason is simple. He couldn't face the music, or more specifically, Deb and Sutton. And every Broadway insider who now sees him less as the charming showman and more as the leading man in a backstage betrayal. Imagine standing in a room full of theater royalty while everyone pretends not to know your mess, but absolutely knows your mess. That stage would be hotter than the spotlight. The tension backstage? You could slice it with a Tony statuette. Producers were reportedly scrambling to find a backup host with enough sparkle to distract from the elephant in the room, which, by the way, has Sutton's face and a caption that used to say, "Friendship goals." Hugh may have dodged the Tonys, but he couldn't dodge the drama. And trust, this plot twist deserves its own standing ovation. January 2025, the month Subtlety died. After months of are they or aren't they speculation, Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster finally flung open the stage doors on their headline-making romance, and did it in full daylight. The setting? A casual, very public Santa Monica stroll. The props? Matching oat milk lattes, coordinated athleisure, and fingers interlocked like they were auditioning for La La Land 2. Divorce edition, the performance, equal parts bold and oblivious. When paparazzi dropped the photos, social media combusted. Twitter ran out of popcorn. Broadway forums entered DEFCON 1. The timeline was not ready for the leading man and his new leading lady making their sidewalk debut like they hadn't just rewritten the final act of their marriages. And the kicker? They looked serene. Not a trace of scandal shame, just sidewalk smooches and synchronized sips. No statement, no subtlety. Just full-blown tabloid theater. All that was missing was a fog machine, a jazz hands moment, and a sudden key change. It was messy. It was bold. It was undeniably choreographed. And in the grand tradition of drama, the stroll was the curtain call, except no one clapped. And Deb definitely wasn't in the audience. Behind every divorce headline is a group chat that's absolutely lighting up. Hugh's longtime circle took the press-friendly route, offering soft condolences with phrases like, they're both on different paths now, and it's all love. But read between the lines and it screams, Hugh, bro, what is this midlife musical detour? Meanwhile, Deb's friends, powerhouse women like Amanda de Cadenet, and a few high-vibe creatives from Byron Bay, opted for a more poetic form of vengeance. Enter the passive-aggressive Instagram carousel. Moody lighting, incense, and captions like, Karma has her own tempo, and some roles were never meant to be recast. Subtle? Never. Effective? Iconic. Insiders say the once tight-knit friend group split faster than cheap wigs during a quick change. Team Deb kept it classy but firm. Team Hugh? Mostly quiet, possibly confused, maybe trying to figure out how to RSVP to both sides without becoming a meme. And Sutton? Sources say she's suddenly persona non grata at certain NYC wine nights and post-show mixers. Turns out, even in Broadway circles, real-life drama can upstage the fictional kind. And this one? It's Giving Follies meets Real Housewives of Midtown. Stay tuned. Because if you think the friend fallout is over, you haven't seen Act 2. Deborah Lee Furness has always been the embodiment of grace under pressure. But don't mistake grace for gullibility. Word on the Upper West Side is that while Deb isn't out here doing press tours about Hugh and Sutton's rom-com of the month, she's not exactly buying front-row tickets either. Insiders say she's been calling their whirlwind romance a rebound musical that'll close early. And let's be real, that's the most savage Broadway burn we've heard since Cats. Her read? This isn't a forever thing, it's a glittery, high-note heavy distraction. A post-divorce fever dream with jazz hands and no emotional encore. She's seen this act before. 2 stars caught in the spotlight, mistaking attention for affection and chemistry for compatibility. And when the music stops, reality has no standing ovation. What happens when the paparazzi vanish and they're left with takeout, unwashed socks, and opposing definitions of forever, all case? Exactly. Deb's not hoping it fails, she just knows the plot. And when it implodes, don't worry. She'll be sipping matcha, smirking slightly, and whispering 3 tell-all TV deals because, wait for it, I'd rather let my silence echo louder than their noise. Goosebumps, anyone? Deb's comeback isn't loud, it's luminous. It's less revenge body, more rebirth energy. She's proof that sometimes the most glamorous act of all is knowing when to exit stage left and when to return with a standing ovation all to yourself.